When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Hey, what's going on? Bronco Nation News, Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com. Here, BJ Rains with you. It's Tuesdays with Tust, so Jay Tust is here, KTVB Sports Director on his off day at KTVB. We always appreciate Tuesdays. Jay helping us out here. And Jay, we got the NFL draft in the rear view mirror now. We got we're going to focus on some softball. Justin Shults, the Boise State softball coach, is going to join us in a little bit, but we're going to talk a little Chibuzo Agbo. There's a lot. Surprisingly, for early May, still a lot going on in the Boise State sports world.
Yeah, excited to see the Boise State softball team back at home. Winners of 6 straight. Man, they went down and absolutely hammered a pretty good Utah State squad. So it'll be fun to catch up with Justin Shults here in a little bit.
We are going to start with basketball. We both talked to Chibuzo Agbo, and I do want to talk about him, but I do kind of want to touch on the quote-unquote breaking news, I guess, that I think we all kind of expected to happen, but I did confirm yesterday that Mladen Armouche is not going to return to the Boise State men's basketball team next season. Jay, I think we kind of probably thought for a while it was leaning in this direction. I mean, I remember Leon Rice as far back as like the first practice in October saying the dude's 24. I don't think he's coming back. And then maybe in the middle of the season, there started to be some chatter. Maybe he was considering it. Obviously, you would have loved to have him back, but Mladen Armouche, and again, he hasn't officially announced this, but all indications are that he is moving on from the Boise State men's basketball team. It's going to be a big loss for this team. Jay, what do you make of Mladen leaving?
I think that you get caught up in the emotions of the season, and it was a fun year. It was a historic year for the Boise State men's basketball team. So, once you get through all that and you put that in the rearview mirror, you start to settle in and make the best decision for you and yourself. And we've discussed this, for a long time now, and even when it comes to a guy like Marcus Shaver and Emmanuel Acop, these guys are older, and many of them, or all of them, I guess, would be exercising their COVID year. So had that not happened, they would all be done playing. There would be no option. And so there is a lot that they're weighing into this, when they're making this decision about their future. And we've seen one that's going to go and chase his pro dreams. We've seen one that is testing his pro dreams, and all signs are, at the moment at least, are pointing to him returning. And then the other one is, probably doubtful, but we'll just label him a question mark at the moment. And that's kind of what we thought at the, going into this thing, that the over/under was 1, and
there's a little nervousness though in Bronco Nation right now when you look at the roster, and we're going to talk Chibuzo Agbo. Obviously was a big piece to get, but you now lose 3 starters for sure. I agree with you. I think that Marcus Shaver Jr. is going to be coming back, but you lose 3 starters now, Jay, and I know you feel good about Sada coming in, but he's a very raw, incoming freshman. I don't think it's fair to maybe expect a Tyson Degenhart type year out of him. You do bring in Chibuzo, who we're going to talk about, the Texas Tech transfer, but there's going to be guys like Najee Smith, Lucas Milner in particular, Max Rice. All those guys that were contributing players last year are going to have bigger roles next year. Yeah,
at the very least, you're going to lean on the leadership and experience of those guys to bring these, younger, less experienced guys along, right? And so there's certainly talent coming back and coming to the Boise State roster, but it's just a matter of how quickly you can, develop everybody and get them up to speed. Tyson Degenhart, once again, I'll just continue to reiterate, he's an anomaly. Like, I don't think that should be the expectation of any of these incoming guys. But, there is a chance that the pendulum could swing pretty far in one direction or the other, depending on how fast you can get them up to speed, get them in a college weight room, and see how much they can handle.
Someone asking about Burke Smith, how far along he is. He'll be a third-year sophomore next year. I mean, his third year in the program, played a little during that COVID year, redshirted last year. You'd like to think he's ready to contribute at some level. He's 6'11" kid, more of an outside shooter. He's more of a Zach Haney type, I think, than a true, like, just back you down big. But they have a spot now. They do have one scholarship left to replace Milad Narmouche, so they'll probably hit the transfer portal again and see what they can do. But that made the addition of Chibuzo Agbo that much more important, Jay. We think that Emmanuel Akot is gone. So you lose Akot, you lose Kijab, you lose Armouche, and you try to reload this thing. And Chibuzo Agbo, the 4-star Texas Tech transfer, we're going to hear from him in a second. I know we both had a chance to talk to him. You had it on Sunday Sports Extra the other night. A good kid. Seems like he's going to fit in well here character-wise and all those things. And he's, in a similar spot, I think, to some of those other transfers that came in looking for a bigger opportunity and flourished here.
Yeah, I reached out to his former teammate of Chibuzo's as well, just to get a little take. And it's kind of funny how, hey man, it's a small world. Adonis Arms,
that's right,
played at NNU. He transferred out of NNU.
In about six other schools.
Yeah, he transferred out of NNU, went to Winthrop, eventually wound up at Texas Tech this last year, was a great player for the Red Raiders, helped him get to the Sweet 16 and almost got him past Duke. He was a guy that hit a couple big late shots in that game. But asked him about Chibuzo, and he reiterated that Chibuzo is one of the hardest working guys he's ever been around. He says he's got a great little pull-up jumper as well. So, there's not a lot of stats there to back up the significance of this commitment to Boise State. But again, go back and look at Emmanuel Akot stats at Arizona or Abu Kijab stats at Oregon when Boise State got those guys in the boat to beat Broncos. And it's all very, very similar and very relative. And if you really get down into Buzo's story, it's hard not to see a lot of similarities between him and Abu Kijab from their upbringings. They were both raised abroad, and then they came over to the States. And, so it's just they're both fun to talk to. He was a great character, and that's why I said he just shades of Abu. And I don't want to place too much on that kid's shoulders, but at the very least, it's good company for him to be in.
Hey, BoiseDentistryCo.com. Check them out. Locations across the Treasure Valley. Dr. Chris Meinert. Got my kids there on the screen smiling, and he does a great job there. Full dentistry, family wellness, and so all the newest technology and great staff and just a lot of fun there. So if you're looking for a new dentist and want to talk some BSU sports while you're on the dentist chair, check out BoiseDentistryCo.com. Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out, TCSTranscomService.com. If you're looking for a career change or a fresh start, jump on into the trucking industry like 1,000 other people a day are doing, and TCS can help take care of all your permits and all the things you need to get out on the road towing that first load. Check them out, TranscomService.com. United Commercial Insurance, another great supporter here at Bronco Nation News. They can write business insurance policies in 44 states around the country. So check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They make business insurance easy, and we appreciate their support. A local company, but again, they can help you out no matter where you're at. If you're a business owner, you might think you get a good rate, but bet you can do better if you give them a call. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Let's hear a brief clip from Chibuzo. I know you, like I said, you got him, and your full interview's up on the KTVB YouTube channel, right? I believe, and you had it on Sunday Sports Extra as well. He did a couple of one-on-ones, I believe, with you and me. But here's a short clip of Chibuzo and just his excitement level and why he committed to the Broncos. Now, what's it been like the last couple of days since he made the announcement? What's kind of been the reaction among social media and stuff that you're heading to Boise State?
For me, it's just relief. You know what I mean? I found my spot. For me, the recruiting process is never fun, but I feel good about Boise, and, it's just good to know where I'm going. What
was – I know you came in for a visit last weekend. What was it about the city or the town or the team that kind of made you decide Boise State was the right fit for you?
It was all of it together. I really like Boise. The coaching staff, the rest of the guys, I feel like we really bonded, the short time I was there. So all just kind of made sense for me.
How much did seeing them win the championship last year, regular season and the tournament, get to go play in March Madness? I assume that's a goal of yours. So what's, I guess, the winning success they've had in particular last season? How did that help play into it for you?
Oh yeah, that was a big part of it. Even looking, farther back at Coach Rice's, track record. He's just a winner. For me, that's everything.
What are you going to bring to the table, man? What are Boise State fans going to get out of you when they see you on the floor this year?
Oh man, every time I'm out there, I'm gonna give everything I got. I'm gonna play really hard. I can grab boards, I can shoot, I can handle the ball. I feel like I have the all-around package. I haven't really been able to show that yet, but these past 2 years, I've really been working. I just feel prepared.
Looks like you come in with a very similar situation as an Emmanuel Akot and an Abu Kijab, where you're a top 100 guy. You kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit at your previous school. Obviously, they both came here and flourished and played at all Mountain West levels, and are going to have pro chances. How much did they either sell that to you, or did you look at that and kind of see yourself kind of following suit, and maybe it just kind of makes sense for you?
Yeah, it definitely kind of makes sense, and I got to talk to those guys. I didn't get to talk to Abu face to face, but we talked over the phone a little bit just about their experience, the development, and coming and switching over to Boise and how it went for those guys, and they have the blueprint, and it all just makes sense. So I feel good about it.
Well, there he is, Chibuzo Agbo, and again, full interviews up on the YouTube channel. Jay's got the full interview as well. Up on his YouTube channel when he chat with them. And I enjoyed chatting with him, man. Seems like he is eager for an opportunity here.
Yeah, I would love to really know the depths of what him and Abu talked about, because I can't think of a better person to probably sell the Boise State basketball program than a guy like Abu. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, him just saying that he really feels like he has put in a lot of work, and he just hasn't had the opportunities to show his progress and his development on the basketball court. And one thing that it's definitely worth bringing up too. It's so funny, BJ. After I aired, the interview on KTVB, that I immediately get an email saying, "Why are we making such a big deal about a guy that averaged 1 point per game?"
I got 2 or 3 of those.
Right, and it's important to acknowledge that and this is a problem that hasn't really been talked about a lot with the transfer portal. And we talk about what's fair and what's not fair, and that kids deserve, opportunities if they earn opportunities. And I agree with that. But you also have a guy like Chibuzo, and these are my words, not his words, by the way. This is just my observations. He last year was playing at Texas Tech in a completely different scenario than the one that he committed to at Texas Tech. And not only did his head coach, Chris Beard, leave to go to Texas, and not only did he get a new head coach, but that new head coach brought in a ton of transfers. And so that really altered, Chibuzo's playing time and opportunity at Texas Tech. And so that's the one thing about this transfer portal that I don't think is getting talked about enough, is that you do have guys, yes, that are going out and they're moving and they're putting themselves in better situations. But it's the guys down on the depth chart that nobody's really talking about that are being severely impacted. In many cases, now their situations are changing so drastically that they have to get out and go do something else because they're never going to see the court.
Oh, no doubt about it. I totally agree, and we'll see. But it does look, I know people said that I had it right after he committed. Oh, it looks great, but I'm not excited about 1.2 points or whatever he had. Based on what I've told, man, from eyewitness accounts that saw his pickup game with the team here in town, he's got a chance to be a pretty darn good player here. And I don't remember people saying that about Abu Kijab, or like you said, Emmanuel Akot, when they were averaging 1 or 2 points a game. Abu Kijab wasn't even, neither one of those guys was even seeing the floor that much. They were playing about 10 minutes a game. I know he was playing 6 minutes a game, so it's pretty comparable.
Yeah. I think Eman had a little more run at Arizona at times than Abu, but it is very comparable. And what's the difference? Even if it's 2 points per game, I mean, what's the difference? It's all about opportunity, player development, and like Abu, like Eman, Chibuzo feels like he's going to get all that right here in Boise, and we'll see what he can do.
Hey, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Check them out, 13 Idaho locations. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. They got the at-home shopping, the Skip app, all that great stuff. We appreciate them. Blue and Orange store as well. Whether you're in Boise, go to the Blue and Orange store right there at the Boise Town Square Mall, or you can check them out online, theblueandorangestore.com. We appreciate them and all the great new Nike gear and all that stuff. And so we appreciate them. Timberstone Golf Course, Looks like the sun's kind of coming out a little bit, so you can head on out to Timberstone if you want to get a tee time play. Timberstone.com. They got the best greens in the valley, so we appreciate them as well for being a sponsor of Bronco Nation News. Jay, we got Coach Shults coming on in just a second. The softball team, man, they're off to a heck of a start, 34-10. It's been pretty impressive to watch in his first year.
It was a few weeks back that I went out and talked with Justin, and he said that, he has a team that responds better than any other team that he's been around. And at that point in time, they were coming off a stretch where they were 1-5. And prior to that, they were on fire. And so it was kind of one of those like, hey, only time's going to tell if your words hold weight. Well, since then, they haven't lost. And more often than not, during the 6-game winning streak, they have been pummeling opponents. So I guess his words carry a lot of weight.
Yeah, they have so far. We'll bring Coach on right now. Coach of the Wagon is the name there. I like that. I like that, Coach. How you doing, man?
That's great.
I'm doing well. I guess this has caught a lot of publicity on social media, so I'm going to run with it for a little bit while we can.
Hey,
how you guys
not?
doing?
We're doing great, man. We appreciate you coming on, and it's fun to be talking about some of the things that you guys are doing. And you got 6 games left. You got a chance to tie the school record to 40 wins if you win out. I know you're not thinking about that, but 34-10. And what's most impressive to me, Coach, 34-10. You've only played 9 home games. I mean, just crazy what you guys are doing away from home, and you're off to a heck of a first year here. Congratulations so far.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, we're in great company. I think Oklahoma is the only team ahead of us in road wins, and when you start to look at possible at-large selections for postseason, I think road wins is extremely important. You want teams that can go places and compete. It doesn't matter where you're going, but you want teams who can compete on the road, and we've shown we can do that all year.
I'm sure you came in with high expectations, Coach, but I mean, could you added obviously some impact transfers that we can talk about, but I mean, did you expect to be to this kind of success right away here in year one?
Yeah, I mean, you always come in with high expectations. I always look at the schedule and kind of project a finishing record to see if we can top what I project. And right now we're right on pace. We're already kind of a little bit over what I projected based on some of the teams, but I think we've still got a little bit of ways to go, and we're trying to go 1-0 every day. And it would be really nice to finish strong and put ourselves in a really good spot come Selection Sunday.
Justin, going back to our very first interview, we both got baseball backgrounds. Yours is way more impressive than mine. But eventually you got into softball. And I just kind of want to revisit that conversation and why you find this game so damn entertaining.
Yeah, it's the tempo. I got into it by accident because of my sister, and my family was a softball family. But since I've been here, it's amazing how the tempo, the speed, the power of the game has really, really made it fun. And as you see on a national level, it's gained so much publicity in the last decade. And part of it's because of what the athletes have been doing and really promoting their athleticism.
Speed, tempo, power. You guys have all of that right now. How do you shape the mindset of the batters in your offense? And I know it varies a little bit. I mean, Flores has been hit by like 47 pitches this year, but she is tough. Kelsey Lawler has been so consistent. Kelsey Hall has been a really fun story where she's finally found her stride and unlocked her ability here in her junior year. So how and they all seem a little bit different in their own ways, but what is like the main thing in order to get your team to have quality ABs, game in, game out, AB to AB?
Yeah, we try to keep it as simple as possible. We do our homework early in the week, and then once we get in the box, it's all about competing. So I mean, we've got a deep roster, and so if somebody's not having their best day, we go to the next person, and then that's been successful for us. We've had quick pulls, quote unquote, on some people here and there, but when we do, it's usually somebody like Abby Bumcrot coming up with a huge hit against San Jose State to put us over the top. Jordan Hutchins back against Fresno State hit a 3-run bomb to walk us off as a pinch hitter in the 7th. Like, I think this team has bought into each other, and I think that's what's made it easier in the box. And they're all extremely competitive. So if you came to our practices and watched the ball fly at practice, everybody's trying to see how hard they can hit it and how consistent they can hit it.
And 64 home runs, Coach, on the year, 5, 6, your key players hitting well over 300. I mean, I know you have an offensive background, so I mean, I know this isn't really a surprise as Jay's detailed in some of the stats of what you've done with teams offensively, but what can you say just about some of the individual names that Jay mentioned or whoever else you want to point out? I mean, you got, 4 or 5, just, no easy outs in your lineup, and 4 or 5 players, when they come up, they're destined to do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a slogan. It's like hitters hit, and so you got to have hitters, and we have that. I mean, you look at Kelsey Hall, you look at Kelsey Lawler, Ali Sang, the both Flores sisters. I mean, we've got some youth and Abby Bumcrod and Mackenzie Hanna who have stepped up. I mean, it's you could list the entire roster. They all hit it. We've got kids on the bench who haven't necessarily had as many opportunities that when their name's called, they go in and have just as competitive at bats as the rest of them. And so I think that's the best thing is you got to have people who can swing the bat, and we have that. And then we fine tune things here and there, but for the most part, it's a lot attributed to what they can do as athletes.
And I know that you can't forget about the pitching staff. It's been a couple pretty impressive, performances in the circle this year too.
Yeah, I think Jay talked about the response from a team. Our pitching staff had a little bit of a gut check in that UNLV weekend, along with the rest of our team. It wasn't just them. And they've responded amazingly. I mean, you look at what Hannah Bailey's been able to do over the last really 3 weekends, even in the San Diego State series where we battled. Taylor Cottle and Sarah Johnson have been awesome as well as kind of the 2 and 3 in the group. And you need a pitching staff to make yourself way through a 50-game season. And we've definitely got that. And it's been fun to kind of play the matchups from time to time.
When it comes to somebody like Hannah Bailey, who, I mean, she really has been so good for you guys lately. I feel like in softball, and maybe this is just cliche, Coach, but you watch some of these power programs, and they usually have these ladies out there that just shove, and they strike out 14 in a game, but that's not really Hannah Bailey's style. Like, and I know that she can get, rack up double-digit strikeouts at times, but how much more, does it make the team feel involved when she's in the circle, just because you are required to play defense?
Oh, absolutely. Our team loves playing behind her because it's efficiency. We talk about that all the time with her, and she's bought into that. She came up to me after, I think, the first Utah State game, and it was under 100 pitches. San Jose State, the first game, threw 74 pitches in a complete game. So she's bought into the role, and the defense. I mean, I think we're second or third in the country in fielding percentage, and you got to be able to field when you have a pitcher like that, and our defense has done that all year. Yeah,
I know that talking with some of the girls last week, they said that she loves the tempo and pace she works at. She's very quick and efficient. I know as a defender, you love pitchers like that because they keep you engaged. You have been kind of playing the chess game a little bit, it seems like, with your lineup lately, though, moving some pieces in and out. Abby Bumcrod is one that specifically has kind of seen her role expand recently. She's hitting like 450 in Mountain West play. What kind of led to her just turning it on here late in the season when it really starts to matter?
Yeah, I mean, I think you were pretty generous when you said that lately we've been changing our lineup. I don't think we've written the same lineup once this year.
You probably haven't. Good point.
Which is crazy, but I think once again it just shows our depth. But Abby specifically, she's had quality at bats. We're deep at the catcher position, but her versatility. I mean, we've started to put her in the outfield a little bit. We've had some athletes who have had to miss the last couple weekends. So she's really filled in, and then she's ran with that leadoff spot. She came in that San Jose State game and really pressure-filled situations, had 2 great at-bats, and really hasn't missed a beat since then. So, no, she's a great athlete, and she doesn't chase out of the zone. I think 1 strikeout and about 70 at-bats or something like that, and that shows that she really sees the ball well and takes what pitchers give her.
This is Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com. You're listening to Justin Shults, the first-year coach of the Boise State softball team. BJ Rains and Jay Tust with you for a few more minutes with Coach here. And, Coach, we had a couple of comments coming in here on social media. Rudy wanted to know if any of the seniors still have a COVID year left. What's the roster kind of looking like moving forward here?
Yeah, so we'll lose 6 seniors this year. Kelsey Lawler, Ali Sang, E. Flores, Hannah Bailey, Sarah Johnson, and India Kelly. So obviously when you look at that, you're like, wow, that's a decent chunk of our roster, but we've got a lot of youth. And the remaining people who have COVID years, we talk about that year by year. It's so hard for some of these kids who were freshmen when COVID happened to see what are they going to do 4 years from now. But no, we definitely plan to have the bulk of our roster back next year, and we'll obviously add some really good freshmen, top 25 recruiting class, and we'll obviously dip into the transfer portal to see what we need after our exit interviews at the end of the year.
And you guys are different. You guys have had the 1-year transfer rule, right? Did some of these other sports already have that? I know it's a big, huge deal now in football and particularly in basketball with how crazy it is, but this is not something new for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's just publicized more with the transfer portal, but we've always gone through they've never had to sit, or if they did, it was usually within conference. So we've always kind of had the flexibility of transfers, and now I think just with this age, and the transfer portal, it's just more prevalent. So we'll profit from it. We'll lose some athletes, and we just always have to be adjusting as a coaching staff and as a team, and making sure we find the right people to fit what we want as a program.
And one more social media question here, Coach, from Perry. You mentioned the NCAA tournament. He says, do you need to win out to get an at-large bid? And you hate to put that kind of pressure on your team or anybody with 2 weekends left. And we'll talk about the senior weekend coming up here this weekend at home. But what is the outlook? And I know the RPI-wise or whatever they call it for softball, you guys are in a pretty good spot. But, UNLV does have the sweep over you guys. I mean, how does all that stuff come into play?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Winning out really solidifies our resume. I think when you look at it, 40-10 would be hard to leave a team out like that, especially with some quality wins that we've had. The UNLV weekend, obviously, if you're looking at it objectively, does not help our case, especially if they only want to take 2 Mountain West teams. But yeah, if we win out, I think we have a really good shot, and it'll make Selection Sunday fun at least. And we've done everything in our power to show the selection committee what we've done. And if it's good enough, it's good enough. If not, then that's unfortunate because we're a really, really good softball team.
Yeah, I was going to say, Justin, how much has your team just kind of gone into kill mode? I mean, like you go back to that, whether it be the San Jose State series here and, maybe the game got tight at times and you guys just, put the hammer down. I go back to even the last inning of the Utah State game, or I guess it'd be the 6th inning. Utah State's 1 out, bases loaded, they don't score. And then if that wasn't bad enough, you guys come back and you hit back-to-back jacks to push that game away. So how much have you guys just kind of slipped into kill mode, and how much confidence do you think the girls have once again?
Oh, absolutely. I think you learn stuff throughout the season. The UNLV weekend really taught us that we need to be able to handle the spotlight a little bit better. And now with the pressure of really possibly having to win out, starting back with San Jose State, got to go 12-0 to make it interesting for the selection committee. Our girls have really understood what it takes to play with a little bit of pressure, and they've embraced it more. They're enjoying the ride now, and I think that's been huge for them.
I might kind of answer this next question for you here, Coach.
Yep.
But whether it be the constant action of your team, there's always a lot of live balls. I mean, always a lot of balls in play when you guys are in the field. 64 bombs, that leads the Mountain West. There's always pretty good crowds out at your game, but there's always a little bit of room out there too, I know. So as you guys approach the final homestand, why should somebody mosey on out to Donna Larson Park and check out your squad this week?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. There's a lot of action. We've got speed, power. Our pitching is great, but I think at the end of the day, it's coming out to support these athletes. They've earned the right to be in the spotlight, and I think as a fan base, Jeremiah Dickey and his staff have done an awesome job pushing the tempo in that for all sports, and I think we need to finish this year strong. I know the weather doesn't look great, so bring an umbrella. And let's enjoy some May rain if we need to. But we're expecting another full packed house, and it's going to be an exciting weekend.
Yeah, you see on the screen there, 4:00 Friday. That's the Alumni Day. I know you got some cool events scheduled with that. Some of the alumni coming back. It's a Youth Jersey Friday as well. And then Saturday, 4:00, first 75 fans get a black Boise State shirt. And then on Sunday, it'll be the senior game for your final 6 seniors. As you said, they'll be honored after the game as well. So a lot going on. Donna Larson Park against New Mexico. Again, crazy, Coach. I know there's not much you can do. I mean, in the future, is there anything you can do? I know you go to a tournament and get 5 games, and it's probably better. But 12 home games out of 50 is just, I guess it's just living in Boise, right?
Yeah, we're working hard. I think next year we're going to bring a tournament in the 4th weekend of the year. We're gonna host possibly LMU in our bye weekend. So we're going to get closer to 20 home games next year. And our job is to continue to build our facility, weather the storms here, and control the weather a little bit better. And then I think that's going to allow for the softball fans to get more action of Boise. It's hard to be a softball fan when you only get to see them 12 times a year. And we want to make it closer to 50-50 with our scheduling.
So retractable roof on the way.
Yeah, I didn't see that in the
heard.
drawing. I didn't see that in the drawings of the new campus plan, but
we've got to dream big, right?
Yeah, well, it did look pretty cool, though. They got maybe the indoor hitting facility and some of the other stuff you guys could probably use over there. So hope all that stuff can come to fruition. Hope you guys can take care of business the next 2 weekends. And hopefully maybe like the Monday after Selection Sunday, we can get you on again.
That would be great. I think the first time we talked, BJ said I got to go 13-2 to get on the show. And by my math, if we finish the right way, that'll be 13-2 to finish the season. So
there you go. How about that? Yeah, I Nostradamus, I guess. But no, we appreciate it, Coach. Congratulations. Best of luck this weekend. We'll be out there, and like I said, hopefully in a couple weeks here, if things go well, we can catch up with you again.
Right on. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
Yep. Take care. There he is. He's not Justin Shults, Jay, the coach of the wagon there on the name. I liked that. Good dude. And man, it's, I've been here 9 years and I think I've gone through 3-4 softball coaches they've had, in the time here, but he seems to, he took over a program that had made the tournament, in the last, they're starting to hit these steps, but it looks like he's continuing to elevate the program here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I really think it's only getting better. I know that he kind of talked about how much they're losing, but they really do return quite a bit. I mean, you talk about Kelsey Hall, the younger Flores, Abby Bumcrot is young, Jordan Hutchins, like they are going to have quite a few players coming back next year, a really good foundation where even if you lose a Kelsey Lawler, a Hannah Bailey, you're just going to be finding pieces to complement the roster that's returning, not like rebuilding the whole thing. They'll be very competitive once again next year.
And I know, football and men's basketball gets a lot of the attention, but you look at what some of these other sports have done, and I get it. The softball, I guess softball, Jeremiah Dickey made this higher, so you can look at that. But some of these other sports, and I know it's not just the AD, but it looks like it's a pretty healthy with volleyball and softball and soccer, and a lot of these Olympic sports, so to speak, seem to be all moving in the right direction here.
Yeah, a lot of momentum, and I think more than anything, they're out there and they're telling people how successful they've been. So it's all been fun. It's all been good, and I look forward to getting out to Donald Larson Park this week to cover some softball.
So going to have a little change of schedule this week. Mike Prater is going to join me tomorrow on Wednesday instead, and then Jay, we're going to be on Thursday this week. And then we're going to do a cool little thing Thursday and Friday. It'll be kind of a 2-day NIL look where we look at name, image, and likeness stuff. Thursday, we'll hear from Leon Rice talking about NIL. I thought he said some very interesting stuff, Jay, that I want to discuss with you. Chibuzo Agbo also got some NIL deals, so I want to talk about that with you. And then you had done a story on Riley Smith that we saw on KTVB a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to catch up with Riley Smith and Mike Walsh on Friday. And Jim Sturk, who's the GM out at Lithia Ford, and kind of just go into how a deal works for NIL from that aspect. So we'll do that Thursday and Friday. And so Thursday, Jay, we'll see you then. But we appreciate it, man. Always good to catch up with you this week. Thanks for moving your schedule around for me.
Yeah.
And we'll next Monday, by the way, you still got to get me the list back, Jay. I'll put you on the spot here. Next Monday, we start our top 25 players, and I'll send you an updated one before you look at it because I made a few changes. But
all right.
Jay and Johnny and Prater and Bob Beeler are all helping me, and we're coming with the top 25 most important players to the Boise State football team, and we're going to do a player a day kind of moving forward, and we're starting next week. We'll have some other topics that pop up, but at least for part of the show, we'll start with number 25 next Monday. Hard to believe we're already in that time, Jay, but if you factor out this list and then some other stuff, we're less 3 months away from media days.
Yeah.
It's not really that far away. So
we'll have some fun.
That'll be a fun series as well. So have a great rest of your day, Jay. Appreciate it. And we will talk to Jay on Thursday, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow with Mike Prater. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.